We are educators. We want to bring the best possible opportunities for our students. We want to take them places. We want to do everything possible to ignite the spark of inspiration. We want to provide the best infrastructure. At the same time, we also want to learn, explore, experience, and grow. But we always encounter one major roadblock: funding. Well, not anymore. In this series, we are going to discover every possible way to arrange funds or to raise capital. Hi, it's Himanshu, and I welcome you to the brand new episode of The Ed Show. Today's episode is going to be super exciting, so keep listening on Apple, Spotify, or on your preferred platform. I welcome you all in the very first episode of The Ed Show, and thank you all for joining in. I am Himanshu Sharma, an educator, entrepreneur, investor, author, and an avid traveler. And I am associated with various organizations, educational institutions, banking and investment agencies in different capacities. And I bring in almost 2 decades of experience of working in the education sector, where I have worked with, helped and mentored hundreds of educators and educational institutions across countries and continents. While working in this sector, I have come across some common and some serious concerns that we all face and struggle with, along with its possible solutions. During this journey, I have also interacted with some of the amazing personalities and have got the opportunity to learn about their struggles, their journey, their success stories. And in The Ed Show, I am going to share the knowledge that I have gained throughout my journey. I'll share some interesting opportunities. We'll invite some of these amazing personalities for wonderful interactive sessions, and we'll also invite you to come and have meaningful interactions with me and with the fellow educators. The idea behind The Ed Show is not just to create a podcast, but to form a community where we all learn and grow together. So subscribe to this podcast on your preferred platform and share it with fellow educators, and let's learn and grow together. You may also get in touch with me personally via email or via social media platforms. And if you wish to know more about me, then feel free to follow me or connect with me on LinkedIn. In the end, I just wish you an engaging and amazing learning experience. So let's get started. Starting today, we are launching our very first series, The Ed Invest. In this series, we are going to discover some of the investment and funding opportunities that are available globally for both educators and educational institutions. In the coming episodes, we will discuss every opportunity in detail. We will understand what the opportunity really means, what all we can gain from it, who is eligible to gain from it, its application process, the added advantages, pros and cons of such opportunities, legalities involved in it, and much more. While today's episode is the foundation of our upcoming episodes, and hence today I will cover the basics of investment and funding. I'll throw light on some of the opportunities that we are familiar with, while some might be new to us, and we will only try and understand the terminologies and opportunities in a layman language. And we will discuss each opportunity in detail in the upcoming episodes. So let's rock investment. Let's understand what is funding or investment. And before we go any further, I would suggest you to get your pen and notepad ready to make notes of all the relevant terminologies and whatever you feel is important for you, as we will be using all these terminologies in our upcoming episodes. Now let's get started. Funding or investment is the act of providing resources, usually in the form of finances and or material, to finance a need, a program, or a project. It can also be in the nature of time and efforts invested. Investments are majorly categorized into 2 broad areas: repayable investment and non-repayable investment. The common type of repayable investments are private equity, venture capital funds, HNI investments, bank or commercial loans, debts, bonds, debentures, and more. And the common types of non-repayable investments are donations, CSR funds, crowdfund, aid, subsidies, grants, and more. While each investment opportunity has its own advantages, some are easier to obtain and some are little tricky. The most common source of fund generation available for educational institutions are internal fundings in the form of self-investment or private investment, fee collection, endowment and donations. And the external fundings are available in the form of loan, aid, subsidies, grants, state or central government schemes, private investments, hedge funds, VC funds and more. In education sector, both repayable funds and non-repayable funds are available for all types of educational institutions, right from pre-primary to K-12, higher education to research institutions, skill development institutions, polytechnics, private institutions and more. And all these types of fundings are also available for the educators as well. As I had mentioned earlier, that the funds are available to fulfill a need, a program or a project. Let's understand what these terms means with an example. A need is something which is essential rather than desirable. The basic example of need could be teaching the underprivileged students and providing them with a scholarship. A program on the other end is a set of measures or activities with a short-term or long-term aim. Example, you wish to develop a youth club, a community engagement program, or other examples can be you wish to organize exchange programs or training and development programs for students as well as for educators. A project on the other end is an initiative taken in order to achieve something concrete. This can be both materialistic or non-materialistic. Some examples of project-based funding can be funds to establish a new infrastructure or upgrade or upkeep an existing infrastructure, while other examples can be research project or STEM-based project. While these terminologies varies from organization to organization, and hence what all we should focus on is various types of funding or investment opportunities. Let us understand non-repayable funds in detail. A most common type of non-repayable fund is a donation. In a layman language, a donation is something that is given for a charity or for a cause, and any individual or organization can give donation. Some of the common ways to raise donations are a donation appeal, organizing a fundraiser event, organizing a crowdfunding campaign, or a corporate social responsibility and more. Now you can organize a donation campaign to fulfill any cause that your educational institution is supporting or you as educators are supporting. An example could be that you are offering free education or educational resources to the underprivileged students, or you are working for the upliftment of the neighborhood slums, or your students are organizing a community development or community engagement project. Now let us understand different ways of raising donations and throw some light on fundraisers, CSR and crowdfunding. A fundraiser or a fundraising event's primary purpose is to raise funds for a cause, charity or non-profit. In a fundraising event, you can invite local community, your alumni or who's who, where they can come and understand about your cause and can donate as per their own willingness. CSR on the other hand stands for corporate social responsibility. As per the guidelines, any corporate which is generating sufficient amount of revenue is liable to give back to the society, and the giving back is called corporate social responsibility. In India, any company with the turnover of 1000 crore or with the total net worth of 500 crore or with the net profit of 5 crore in any given financial year is responsible to contribute 2% of their net profit towards the social development or social causes. Now these guidelines again varies from country to country, and if you are listening this podcast from any other country, then you must check the guidelines in order to reach out to the right corporate for CSR funding. Crowdfunding on the other end generally means arranging the funds through multiple means or individuals. This can mean arranging both repayable investment by diluting your equity or non-repayable funding by organizing a donation campaign. If you are an education institution, then these documentations you must have before you apply for any donation campaign. You must have a non-profit setup, which majority of the educational institutions have in India, as we establish our institutions under a trust, society or a Section 8 company. Along with the non-profit setup, we should have ATG and or FCRA certifications. Now these certifications are tax exemption certificates. While ATG is applicable for any donation that you are receiving from India, FCRA on the other hand is applicable if you are receiving donations from other countries. In India, only play schools are not bound to follow the non-profit structure, but they can also raise donations for a cause with no special certifications. While educators are not bound to have any of these certificates if they are raising the donations in their own name, but they must have a tax ID or PAN number. Now, these regulations are again different, from countries to countries. So you must consult a legal representative or a tax lawyer in your country before you raise any donation. Let us understand some other types of non-repayable funds. A subsidy. A subsidy is actually a kind of an aid, relief, or a benefit given to an individual, business, or institution, usually by the government, in the form of cash payment or tax deduction. This is usually given to remove some kind of burden and is often considered to be in the overall interest of the public. Some of the examples are a government-aided school wherein government pays some kind of financial aid to the established institution, or the other example could be, if you remember, in recent past our state governments have paid subsidies for installation of solar power grids or solar plants in school premises. The other form of non-repayable investment is a grant. A grant is a sum of money or material given by the government or any other organization for a particular purpose. For example, a library grant can be given for the construction of a new library, or for the repair or upkeep of an existing library, or for buying new books for the library. In case of grant, the purpose mentioned in the grant proposal defines the kind of grant that the educational institution or an educator may receive. Now let us understand some repayable investments. The most common type of repayable funding is debts. Debt can be of various types. Again, you may be familiar with some of these terms and some might be new to you. So make a note of it. The common type of debt is a loan. A loan is a form of debt incurred by an individual or an organization, which in our case is an educational institution or an education company, or as educators. You as a borrower receives a loan from a lender. A lender is usually a bank, a non-banking financial institution, a corporation, or the government. In return, the borrower agrees to certain set of terms including any financial charges, interest, repayment dates, and other conditions as per the mutually agreed terms and conditions. So in a layman language, the money that you borrow from different financial institutions for which you have to pay something in return. It can be returning back the principal amount or returning back with interest in a stipulated time period is called a loan. The other form of a debt is a bond, in which if an organization decides to take a loan or borrow money as per their defined terms, then they can issue bonds to the lenders. Now, lenders are the individuals who can collectively give loan to the borrower, and in this case, the issuer of the bond is a borrower, which can be a government or an organization, which is raising money for itself. Although both bonds and stocks are a form of securities, but bonds are different than stocks, as a stockholder is an equity shareholder of the organization, and a bondholder is a lender to the organization. The other form of a repayable investment is HNI investment. HNI investment is a private investment made by a high net worth individual in a company or an organization. Now, these investments can be both in the form of equity or a debt, depending upon the terms of the agreement decided at the time of raising the investment. VC is again a private equity investment. Now, that is provided by a venture capital firm to a startup or to an emerging organization or any institution that have been deemed to have high growth potential. VC firms generally invest in the equity stake where they hold the shares of the organizations as per the agreed terms. There may be many other types of funding opportunities available for both individuals and or organizations or institutions. But these were the most common types of opportunities available for the education sector. In the upcoming episodes, we will discuss each opportunity in detail, and we will also try to share the relevant information about other kinds of investment opportunities. If you have liked this podcast, then do rate us on Apple Podcasts and share it in the community. Thank you for listening to The Edge Show. I hope it was a great learning experience for you. If you have any questions or suggestions, then do share a voice message with me on Anchor. Or if you are listening this podcast on YouTube, then share it in the comment section and I will address all your questions in the Q&A session. And I'll see you in the next episode. Till then, stay safe and stay happy.